Welcome to Issues of the Day, where we discuss key issues in the news. I am Nanda Deniji, and joining me today are Mr. Rashid Onyagi.
Thanks
Good
for
day.
thanks for having me. Good day.
And Mr. Demola Adeniran. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Now, on to our headlines. Kano weds 1,500 couples in state-sponsored mass wedding. Abuja intensifies effort to tackle scavenging and security concerns. Kano State has married 1,500 couples under its mass wedding program. The ceremony took place at the Central Jumat Mosque in the Emir's Palace, Kano, after Friday prayers. Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf attended alongside Kano Emir Muhammad Sanusi II and his Hisbah Commander General Sheikh Aminu Ibrahim Daurawa. The state allocated 1.5 billion to the program, with each bride receiving 200,000 in dowry and business support, alongside household items for the couples. Now, I don't think this is like the issue we should be having right now. Volcano decided this is the issue they have right now. Should government spend, because it's an enormous amount, 1.5 billion, helping people get married with the rate of almajiris on the streets and all that. I think it is when Nigerians can't even afford basic living costs. Like, you're giving them 200,000 naira. So what is going to happen to the next meal? What is going to happen to breakfast tomorrow or lunch or dinner? Like, let me start with Mr. Mr. Reggie. Like, it doesn't make sense that this is what is the issue right now.
Let us put it in an historical context. And I'm sorry, I don't see anything wrong with it. Let me be honest with you about that. It's good to get married. And in the society we are today, especially in the northern society, not to be married is almost like a death sentence itself. Um, uh, Women who grow old and don't marry tends to be uh, become outcast in the society. At best, they don't have access to a lot of things that. But let's put it in the historical context. This thing has been running since 2012. It was started by the current vice presidential candidate of the NDC, former Governor Rabi Musa Kwankwaso. And the fact that it has continued since that time tells me that there is some positive impact that it is having. There was a research done by two professors. I haven't read the entire content. I got it from ResearchGate, which actually points out to the point that this thing has actually helped a lot of people who otherwise are falling through this social safety net to start their businesses. And yes, if you put 1,000 people together and you empower them with money and everything in life, maybe you have about 50% of them failing within the first year. This is the dynamics of small businesses in all over the world. 90% fail within the first year. But the fact that 10% succeeded add a lot of value to the economy. And you have to also understand the local society that we're living in. A lot of people object to this. Why should you marry off so many people? They are thinking more in terms of there will be, okay, let's assume those 1,500 have children in the first 1 year of their marriage. You've just added 1,500 babies into the system that you have to care for, you have to feed, you have to clothe. And at the end of the day, if these people have not been able to do this, these people will just become another statistic in the famous Almajiri system that we are talking about. But we can't say because of this, we should allow young girls to get pregnant anyhow, run around in the streets. We know the society, the social fabric is torn, but we have to salvage what we can about it. And this, to me, I think is a way of bringing some sanity is a kind of social engineering. And if it hasn't been working, I don't think there's any way they wouldn't have stopped it for the past, how many years now? 14 years it's been on. Every year, this is done. Okay, so I want to believe that there is some positive aspect to it, apart from the fact that they're empowering people. And don't forget, Kano State government are mainly targeting widowers and divorcees in the main. These are people who have been married before. They know what not to do in marriage and stuff like that.
Do they really?
Well, you have to assume that. But I don't think the state government just rounds up people. There's a process for vetting all these people, even matching them, in order not to have problems in the future, especially medically. And if they are followed up on, gathering statistics on this, they wouldn't continue with this if it's not working. Okay. That's my guess.
Mr. Demola, is this genuine empowerment or an expensive political gesture?
Well, I think firstly, we should look at it from the point of view that the uproar against this social engineering, like Mr. Oniyogi called it, usually comes from the south of Nigeria and not the northern part of Nigeria. And that's because if we look at society, the Nigerian society is deeply divided between the northern society and the southern society. What obtains in the southern society does not obtain in the northern society. Promiscuity and having unmarried people or people of marriageable ages who are not married is not too advised in the north. Yes. And if it continues like that from the point of view of even Islam, which is the major driver, major driver for these things, you realize that marrying people off stop social vices. Let me give an example. The issue of our Almajiri system that we have, the issue of our Almajiri children going about, fueling insecurity and having or showcasing poverty in Nigeria would have been worse if this intervention process is not in place. Because what you have is people who give birth, out of wedlock, and then having these children, out on the street. It would have been more detrimental to Nigerian society had this system had not been in place. We have to look at it from that point of view as well. And back to your question when you asked if it is a political gesture. Everything in Nigeria is political gesture. In fact, everything in democracy is political gesture. If you want people to vote for you, elect you, you must do what the people generally demand or what appeals to the people. Even everywhere in the world, wherever you have democracy, it's what the people want. If for a community, they might need a bridge. For another community, they need a town hall. For another community, they need you to build a mosque or a church. It is democracy. Once the community says, this is what we want, that's what you do. But we in the South, we look at it from the lens of our own problem, and then we judge. When you go to societies like that, they actually hold this thing to high esteem, that you have marriageable people, divorcees and widows, moving about, or even hiding in the whatever harem or forgotten by the society, and the government is trying to do something to that effect. Whether that amount of money can be used elsewhere is debatable as well. So you can say schools are broken and you've not fixed the schools. You're marrying people in terms of priority. So it depends on the society for them to decide whatever they want to do, and the people in government.
Okay, thank you very much. For more information, subscribe to Sin TV on Facebook, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter, and TikTok. On our second story, the FCT Administration has renewed Operation Sweep Abuja, vandalism and criminal activities associated with some scavenging operations. The operation involves the police, military, DSS, NSCDC, and other security agencies, and follows an earlier crackdown ordered by FCT Minister Nwosom Wike. Authorities say the aim is to protect residents and public infrastructure, while scavengers argue that the work provides income and supports recycling. I have a very, very, very serious issue with the scavengers, because as much as we keep on saying scavengers are recycling in the community, the stealing and the harassment of people is more than the recycling. And I feel we can have bigger companies do this recycling without us having to be attacked when you are trying to enter your house. So I think I'll start, Mr. Demola. Are scavengers a genuine security problem, or is Abuja criminalizing poverty?
It's not criminalizing poverty. These people are a menace they're a menace. There's hardly any manhole in Abuja anymore. Every public infrastructure that has element of metals in it are being, dismantled by these people. In fact, it will get to a stage, if something is not done, that your car that is driving, they can come and, unravel everything right in front of you.
But I think that is actually one of the biggest problems, because we recently had a situation in my community whereby if you keep your car outside your compound, they will take out the tires and anything metal that is on it.
They'll just take it away. And we don't understand the gravity of this thing until we start putting harsh punishments for stuff like this. If you are vandalizing public property, it's not, if we say it is poverty that is driving them, there are other people doing other things that is dignifying than stealing public infrastructure. Yes, and stealing manhole and all over the place. In China, they used to have that problem, and they put a death penalty on scavengers, metal scavengers, as one of the measures to curb it. Their argument was that for example, if you remove the iron railing on a bridge and somebody falls into or falls from a high level, falls and dies, you are the cause of that death. Whether that person was pushed or whether that person staggered or whatever, but you will be held responsible for that. And until we start looking at from that lens, this thing will continue. I saw a video where a man was going about in Abuja on the express, the manhole. Yes. He wasn't removing it. He was pointing out to authorities that has been removed, and saying this can be a death trap. You could be walking on the road, on the sidewalk, and then fall into 6-7 feet down and broke your leg or something like that. So it's horrible. I hope they can be able to be stern on this and make sure that we don't have this problem. These people can actually come into your house and steal any metal they have. Sure. So they are that desperate. And when we keep blaming poverty or Abuja criminalizing this thing, we forget that most of these people are not people who are original Abuja residents. They come from other states to come and start this nonsense.
Okay, so taking for what Mr. Demola said, should scavenging be banned, or should government regulate and license it as part of Abuja's recycling?
Well, you made a valid point. I agree with everything he said. Criminality should be punished. Criminality should not be condoned. But I've always said, where there are no demands, there will be no supply. There is a dynamic going on in which people are willing to do just about anything to grab a piece of iron and go and sell it. Households to do it. When I have metals in my house that I don't want to use, I bring it out, like I service my car, I remove the shaft and everything. I no longer have any need for this. And I know it is now becoming clear to most car owners who go and change parts that these parts are actually worth something in the market. So they sell it to the scrap ironmongers. We call them iron condemn because that's how they advertise themselves. Now, the point is that we already have a recycling industry in Nigeria. However, the entire supply chain has not been formalized. At the top, you have the iron smelters, Abuja Steel Company, nearby here. We also have people who are collecting the scrap. We have people who are transporting the scraps. I'm sure if you go to the police headquarters now, you will see a truck with scrap iron in it that has been detained for one reason or the other. We have whole stretches of railway line, old narrow gauge railway line that has been torn out and cut into pieces and transported to Lagos and other parts of Nigeria to be smelted down to iron, to basic raw material that they use for other inputs like building reinforcement bars. Now, we know who the receivers, the people who are responsible for smelting these metals. We know, but we don't know the people who are responsible for collecting them. We don't have a system whereby they are, vetted, and it is ensured that the scrap iron you are supplying to these middlemen are not
illegally collected.
illegally collected.
Mm.
I mean, I don't see anywhere where I will bring a manhole cover
And
to
you
to a
collect it.
dealer and you will collect it,
Mm.
knowing fully well that this thing could not possibly be scrap.
Mm.
Okay, and like you said, all over Abuja now, I don't think there's any manhole cover that has not been touched, unless where they know that people will always be. Now, the municipal authorities are now using concrete to make covers. But if concrete was the best option,
Why didn't we start
we
with
will
it?
have started with it.
Yeah,
It is
true.
because iron is the best option.
And
In
another
any
thing,
case, even the
sorry,
drainage that these manhole covers are covering also need work, but that's another issue entirely.
Yeah, that's
So
another issue.
I think there's a need, in addition to punishing people who are caught scrapping iron illegally, there's a need to formalize that part of the supply chain to ensure that only the people who are registered to be scrap iron mongers are doing that business. Therefore, you'll be able to monitor them. Therefore, those people receiving this scrap iron can record who they are collecting it from and where they are taking it to. If you have that formalized supply chain, you don't need to be hunting for anybody. The law will enforce itself.
In addition, I think it is important for us to go after the buyers. If you get the buyers and these people who pick it all over Abuja or elsewhere in Nigeria, they will not have anywhere to sell it because it's hot property.
They are taking it
so
somewhere.
The best option is for them to dish it away or don't even go near it as well. So people are buying it from them. Go after those people, have them registered, put a jail term, legislate something on criminalizing them, and put a jail term on their heads. Then before you know what will happen, I don't want to touch anything metal, and then this situation will reduce.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
My thanks to my guest, Mr. Rashid and Mr. Adema. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
This is Citizen TV. I am Nana Daneji. Have a lovely day.